Hi and welcome on to the All Guns Blazing podcast. I've got my man DT here with me. How you doing?
I'm good.
Behaving?
Right. Yeah, I'm happy with the new decor. You know, they've let you bring some stickers into my cell.
Well, that's it. Some people were saying it was looking like a prison cell in here. Now, I don't know if it's because of the white background or if it was only because you're in it.
Well, you know, I'm not gonna divulge into that one. Let's move on.
But listen, good to have you here, man.
Yeah, man.
How's your son getting on, by the way, man?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's here, isn't he? He's over there, man. He's recovering. It's been a week already, isn't it? So yeah, it is what it is.
Terrible, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? So
it was double leg.
He's playing for Stevenage and just like.
Yeah,
player is just totally accidental.
Complete accident. First thing I said when the manager was on the phone to me, the first thing that actually came out of my mouth was like, "Who done it?" You know,
what are you going to do? It's football, man.
No, but as a parent, it's like your first reaction. You're just thinking because you think of, you know, Ryan Shawcross and you think of Taylor against Eduardo, and was it that kind of thing? You know, was it something reckless and stupid that could ruin someone's career? And he was like. Complete accident. He went through against the keeper. He went round the goalkeeper, and then it was a tight angle, and he twisted his body to try and get the ball in on goal. And his left leg stayed in that position, and the rest of his body. And instead, normally your leg moves with the rest of your body, but his studs caught in the 4G pitch. So where it stayed. And he was wearing proper 4G boots that you're meant to wear, but his leg basically just planted in one place, never moved, and his whole body went that way. And it was a double break through the top, and the top was kind of...
He's sitting over there, and he's got a smile on his face, so
yeah, man.
I can see that it's going to be a long journey back.
Yeah.
And it's football, man, and people, the side of football people is what Aaron Ramsey's had to go through.
Yeah, man.
And he's come out the other side, so there's hope for you, man.
Yeah, man. It's God's timing, and it's his timing wasn't right now, and this is the obstacle that they've put in the way, and he's going to come back bigger and stronger from it. So
yeah, no, it's great. Well, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. Now, I wanted to talk about this whole thing with Kroenke and Usmanov.
Yes, let's have a talk.
Why have I decided to do this with him around?
Yes.
But no, listen, Stan Kroenke, as we know, owns what, 70%? Nearly 70% of the shares at Arsenal. Alisher Usmanov, Russian billionaire, 30%, or a little bit less than that. And, there's a couple other share owners who've got like a lesser shares, but essentially the club is owned by Kroenke. Usmanov has been wanting to buy Kroenke. It was this rumour that he'd offered up to £1 billion. But then there was a real twist to that last week. I think it was the Arsblog, excellent website, who announced it first, that said that actually Kroenke is trying to buy Usmanov's shares.
Yeah. And
a lot of people who backed Usmanov were there, and they were like, oh my God, he will have the whole club.
Do you know what? There was a complete meltdown.
Yeah, and then Usmanov have now come out and said, listen, no, I'm not selling my shares. I'm here at Arsenal for the long term.
Yeah.
But he's got no voting rights.
No,
and
he's got nothing.
Excuse me. I was just looking at it, and it's like a really weird situation we got at Arsenal, where we've got two multi-billionaires, not millionaires, billionaires on our board that don't get on, they don't appear to talk or nothing.
Yeah.
And then we get these situations where we're being told, that we're short of money and things like that to buy players. And it's really confusing because they're both billionaires. I mean, why can't they exist together if they are going to exist together? Why can't they at least talk? Why don't they give, he's got 30% of the club, Usmanov, but he has no say in anything that happens.
Because they've both got different ideas of the way they want to take the club forward, is a simple reason. Stan Kroenke is using Arsenal as a business. He's using Arsenal as insurance for all his ventures in America. When he needs to go get loans and he needs to go and do all these different things, what's the one thing that they can say, you're good for your money? Arsenal. No, that's what they're doing.
He owns a lot of things. It's
It doesn't matter.
Arsenal.
It does. I know he does.
The
but
guy he bought a ranch last year.
How many?
The size
How
of
many?
Britain. You know what I mean?
I don't care.
Arsenal,
I don't care about ranches. I don't care.
But
how
Arsenal's
many
not the
ranches.
only thing he owns, is he? He
No.
owns
But
several teams.
what I'm saying is, I don't care how many ranches this guy owns. I don't care how many fucking horses he's got or whatever he's got in his ranch, right? I care about Arsenal Football Club.
Of course.
And that guy, since he's been at this club, has not spent a single penny of his own money on this club, period. When he took over this club, we were going through the most difficult financial change that we had ever been through in our history. We were just moving, the whole move and everything else. We were at such a crucial period where we have to say, Arsene Wenger done an amazing job in the first few years to get us into that. Don't try it, because I've said all along. I've said all along.
Did you hear that? Cut that part, right, and keep that. Say that again.
I've said all along.
He did what?
Shut up, right? I'm trying to talk. I've said all along that, them first few years, Arsene Wenger was getting us Champions League football with Denilson, with Shamak, and, Bentner, and all these people like that. And we can't even get Champions League football right now with Sanchez and Ozil. But at that period, when Roman Abramovich came in, for example, and Chelsea were in, the mess that they were in, and we all know about the Save the Bridge and Ken Bates and everything. He turned around and said, "Right, I need to put some of my money in to get Chelsea up to here before I can start leveling things out." And he doesn't throw money like he used to into Chelsea now.
Still throws a lot of money.
He still throws money when it's needed.
About $1 billion, but they reckon $1 billion pounds.
But he got Chelsea where they had to be, and they winning 5 Premier League titles and Champions League and everything else. He never turned around and said, "You know what, I'm going to put some of my money in just to give him that little bit more." He was happy to just let Arsene Wenger take everything, to let it ride out, to take the money and not do anything. And what a lot of people at home might not know is that before Kroenke come along, Usmanov was on the board. Mm-hmm. Now, we discussed this on the last podcast with the Arshavin deal. Arsenal refused to pay 1.2 million extra. It started off at 2 million with Zenit. There was a gap. Arsenal refused to pay it. Usmanov was brought in by David Dean, who was contacted by John, who was the agent dealing with it all. And Usmanov turned around and went, "I'll give them the 2 million. If it's only 2 million, don't worry about it, I'll give them it." Arsenal refused it to a point where where it narrowed down to 1.2, and John went, "I'll pay it." Arsenal were put in such a situation that they could not make it look like they refused Usmanov's money and took money from an agent. So Arsenal had to go and give Zenit the full amount. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes.
But you could argue that Kroenke, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. Right?
Oh, well, there's a surprise, Robbie.
Big time. But you could argue that in the time that he's been here, the 10 years plus that he's been here, at the club, right, it's a well-run club, right? It's been in the Champions League every year up until this year. We've got a fantastic stadium. We've got a club that's run self-sufficient, right? Where, we're not in no debts and stuff like that. We've bought in a lot of very good deals, over the years that have generated money, and the club is self-sufficient.
Right.
It's a self-sufficient run, because those clubs that you're talking about, Chelsea, let's be honest, Chelsea is a sugar daddy runs the club. Mm. But
if Usmanov takes over,
if he turned around tomorrow, Abramovich, and said, "I want my money back," Chelsea would probably fall apart because they owe him about £1 billion, right? Mm. He's bankrolled everything, right? Then you've got Manchester City, a club that's effectively run by a country, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen it with PSG, we've seen it with Man City. They can afford to go out and buy whatever they want. They can afford to outbid anybody because basically they're being backed by the wealth of oil money or gas money.
Welcome to modern football.
Right? Nobody can compete with those clubs. You've got Manchester United, that's a way bigger club. They're generating.
Do you know what?
But he's,
Usmanov could.
Kroenke is looking at Arsenal and he's saying, "I want it to run as a self-sufficient
No.
business. I want it.
Kroenke wants it to run.
Hold on a second. And it is running as a self-sufficient business. As a business, it's actually a good business, isn't it?
Right, Robbie.
It actually runs very well as a business.
I do not give a flying fuck about Arsenal as a business. I care about Arsenal on the pitch, is what I care about.
Now, there's a lot of clubs that when they're not run right as a business, they start falling apart. We've seen lots of examples.
First and foremost,
of badly. Look at Leeds United.
Yeah, but listen. No, I'm going to talk now, right? Chelsea were a shit small club before Abramovich come along. Man City were a shit small club.
I wouldn't say they were small clubs.
Yes, they were. They were both small clubs. They were shit. They were shit. It's as simple as that, right? Arsenal have always been a big club.
Yes.
We are the third biggest club in England, and we always have been. Yeah, before Arsene Wenger come along, we still had 10 league titles. We still had, 6, 7 FA Cups? Before that, we had a Cup Winners' Cup. We had a Fairs Cup. So we were a big club. The only thing missing on the mantelpiece was a Champions League. But when we had a great team in the end of the 80s and stuff like that, I blame Liverpool because they got us fucking banned from Europe. So we would have probably won during that period. But we were a big club. Always have been a big club. Classy club. Well-run club. We were not sticking up save Highbury. We didn't have the North Bank and the Clock End overgrown with our owner trying to sell us for £1.
So is Kroenke not continuing on those traditions? He's still a well-run club.
No, he's not continuing nothing because he's got to a stage now where the club's run right, but it always has been run right.
Look at Leeds United.
Leeds United, small club.
Hold on.
Fuck Leeds United.
Leeds United are not a small
they
club.
Are a small club.
They are now.
They are
because they've been ruined
How many
over
league
the
titles
years.
have they won?
I don't know how many league titles they've won. They've won a league title, haven't they?
Yeah, well done. Huddersfield have won 3 league titles.
But what I'm saying is, Leeds United, their fan base and everything.
Yes, their fan base.
Right, they were a big club, right?
Yeah.
Me growing up, Leeds were a big club, right? Leeds were always in the top division. Leeds always had top players, right? They tried to go and splash loads and loads of money that they didn't have. And where are they now?
But again,
they've been in the Championship for how many years?
They did that in a period.
They had to sell all their players.
They did that in a period.
They nearly went bankrupt.
Robbie, they did that in a period when they had nothing. This is what I'm saying. It's like Blackburn with the guy that come in. They won the Premier League. They came in.
Where are they now?
Yeah, but they were a small club. Don't compare these clubs to Arsenal. We have always been a really run,
of course we're a big club.
And what I'm saying is Stan Kroenke is a fucking parasite. That guy leeches off this club. He doesn't care. He don't give a shit. For the first couple of years, he was taking 3 million out of the club and then refusing to sit there and tell us why he was taking the money.
As a business, does he not run it as a good business?
That's what I want to find out. Do you know what? When you look at some of the sponsors, no, because they're shit. Everyone's jumped on the whole thing of the sleeve sponsors right now. We're a million miles behind. We're meant to be the fucking driving force. Well run. Why didn't we think of that first? Because they were so off the ball. That's why you look at our shirt sponsors. That's in bullshit comparison to what Man United have got and everything.
Yeah, but Man United have got a bigger deal than anybody else.
How much is our deal for Puma? Go and give the kits back to Puma because the shit, the lettering falls off in a week. Do you know what I mean? It's crap. We had better kits back in the day when there were hardly any materials to make kits.
But how much were those deals worth? They have, as a business, Arsenal as a business, whether we like it or not, right? I'm not talking now about players being bought and stuff like that. Arsenal as a business is an excellent business, right? They've got the stadium that they've literally paid off for without
Which is fuck all to do
with
it. Arsene built that stadium,
without having to be no big bankrolling and stuff like that, right? They've not, they've paid off for it. They've got probably, I think that is the best stadium in the Premier League, easily.
I'll go back to Highbury.
There's still stadiums being.
I'll go back to Highbury tomorrow.
Sentimentally, we'd go back to Highbury, but as a stadium.
Not just sentimentally, because we were a more successful team.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, as a business, right? Everybody at the moment, every team at the moment is trying to get a new stadium or improve their stadium or Arsenal did that 10 years ago.
Have you seen how much money is in the Premier League right now?
Listen, you have to admit, right, whether we like him or not, as a business, the guy has been running a good business. He's not, and as I said, he's saying that I want it to run self-sufficient. And the other thing I have to ask, Usmanov, how do we know that if he did take over, he would be any better? All right, he might splash the cash, but how do we know he couldn't end up like another Leeds or another Blackburn?
We are
or
never, ever. You are, the devil's advocate is just going too over the top now.
How do you not?
You are dismissing Arsenal as a club, as a brand, as a, you know, we are a worldwide thing. And you know what? If anything, Arsene Wenger's more responsible for the brand than Stan Kroenke, yeah, for bringing things, you know. But then it's modern football as well.
There was a lot of worldwide brands in the financial crash.
But what I'm saying is,
right, they ain't in no more.
You're not listening. Listen. Right?
You got to run things.
This is why I get fed up with you weekend after a game because you chat shit in my ear, man. It's like, Jesus.
So you don't think it's run as a good business?
No, because listen. But the business as a whole, right? You got to look at everything as a whole. Yeah, as a whole, right? Now we've got players going into the last years of the contract. Is that a well-run business? No. It's a fucking shambles.
I'm not asking about. I said
no. But you're saying
wait a minute.
A business. It's like
we're going to come to the players, but I was saying as a business as a whole. That's what I said as a business.
All right,
when you look at Arsenal as a business,
yeah, as a whole.
Kroenke,
no, it isn't.
That has been run pretty well.
No, it isn't because they got players running down contracts. They got problems on and off the pitch. So no, it's not a good run business. If I run a local shop, right, and I was earning so much money, that money was pouring in, but I weren't paying my staff. It's not a good run business, is it? Everything's got to work.
Well, I don't know. The staff at Arsenal getting paid pretty well.
Yeah, because there's another thing. Ivan Gazidis, just under £1 million bonus came out today that he got. What did he get a bonus for?
Probably for all the business that he's been bringing.
Business, catalyst for bullshit.
Right, let me ask you a question. How do you know Usmanov, would do a better job?
Because John told me.
John who told you?
John told me.
How do you know Usmanov? Do you know him?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know if he's going to come in, if Usmanov will be able to come in?
I'll give him a ring now. Let me just sit.
He'll probably have you thrown out in the Emirates if he came in.
Listen,
how do you know?
On his boat.
How do you know? That's a big. I'll tell you, I've seen that boat.
Big boat.
That's a big boat.
I see that in Monaco.
But how do you know he's going to do a better job? We don't, do we?
No, but you can't do no worse than fucking Stan Kroenke. The guy's a parasite. He does not care about this club one little bit. Has he been to a single game this season? No. Does he care? This season, yeah, he comes to there. Or when we was in the Champions League and we played at Barcelona, let me mingle in with the people at Barcelona and everything. Fucking prick. Do you know what I mean? He spends more money on toupees than he does Arsenal. It's a simple fact. He does nothing for this club. He does not care about this club. He cares about what's going on in America. He doesn't give a shit.
Listen,
Did he step forward as an owner of this club, as the owner, and come forward when all of the shit was happening last year?
No.
Did he step forward? No. What did he do? He cowered back in America like a pussy, and he stayed there and tried to let it blow over. And because of results and because of everything, it all died away again. And he got away with it. He got away with it again because the FA Cup success and everything else, as much as I loved it and celebrating it, he got away with it.
The thing is about it, it's not going nowhere, is he?
We're going to fucking make him go. I don't care, we need to make him go.
How are you going to make him go?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call out Ian Wright. That's what we're going to do because Ian Wright, I love you, right? Let me get this right. For everyone that thinks that I'm saying this in a nasty way, I am not, okay? I'm asking for Ian Wright's help, okay? Last season, Ian Wright made it very known, okay, that he doesn't feel the majority of the problem is Arsene Wenger. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. Me and Ian have had our disagreements about that, and we've both got respect to each other's views, and we've had our chats in private about that. So we're not going to go there. He believes that the main problem is Stan Kroenke, and he wants him out. When Mo put up a banner towards the cup final about Stan Kroenke and everything. He supported it. He said, yes, I'm fully behind it. Today, he was tweeting out about how Arsenal's an institution. And it's fans' lives. It's my life. It's your life. It's all of our lives. People that have been going for so long. Even people that don't go week in, week out. You know, when they're in Australia or India or wherever. It's their life. They get up at 3 a.m. It's their life. Yeah? So Ian's talking the talk on Twitter. And I'm saying, you've now got to back your talk. You are a legend of Arsenal Football Club. A legend. People will listen to you. Fans will listen to you. As you can imagine, not many fans listen to me. Okay?
So you think Ian Wright?
Yes, because if Ian Wright...
We got a lot of respect. Right? Obviously, we love Ian Wright.
If Ian Wright came forward...
one of my favourite footballers of all time. But you think...
Yes,
if Ian Wright comes forward and says... Stan, you got to go.
No.
Stan Kroenke, multi-billionaire businessman.
Stop talking doo-doo, right? Right, listen.
Ian.
Robbie, stop making a joke of this, yeah?
I'll go.
Because this is your club as well. What I'm saying is,
come on, man.
If we organise protest... Last year, I'm telling you now, Stan Kroenke was close. Josh Kroenke, it's well known, was telling his dad to sell last year because of the amount of shit that was going on. And that was minute. Them protests were tiny. The things that were going on, we were hitting sponsors. You're talking from Indesit to Puma to Citroen. Go for the sponsors. Go for the throw. Do protest properly. Would any of this shit be allowed to happen in foreign countries like Greece and Turkey and stuff? They would pick him up themselves and kick him the fuck out of there and take the keys off him. That's what I'm saying. We need to start doing things proper. We need to actually take this club back and start showing what this means to us. And what I'm saying with Ian, right, if we organise protests, big protests, yeah, hit the sponsors, hit the club, actually sat there before the game, said, right, we're not leaving the stadium when the game's finished. We're making our stand. TV companies got involved, Sky, BT, everything, started really pushing on it. You start putting pressure. If Ian Wright was at the front of that, this is what I'm getting at with Ian Wright. This is what I'm getting at.
Similar protests like what they've done at Blackburn, huh?
We're not worried about them and their chicken ranching. Fuck the Venkies and the chicken ranching.
Listen. Similar to like, well, hold on. Similar to like Alan Shearer, a legend at Newcastle.
You sound like you don't want change. That's what it sounds like. I'm telling you,
I'm saying be real.
If Ian Wright sat there, right, let's say we organised a protest and we said, this protest is not about Arsene Wenger, it's about Stan Kroenke. Let's pick this game right here. End of the game, we're not leaving the Emirates. We're not leaving. We're going to stay there. We're going to protest. We're going to let it know. It's going to be worldwide. It's going to be... And Ian Wright was at the front of that. And Ian Wright asked the fans to be there with him. More people will turn up and support Ian Wright than they will me. If I stand there and say, come and join me, people will go, yeah, but is it really a Wenger out protest? Is it this, is it that? Rare? If Ian Wright stands there and says, join me, people will go, you know what? I'm joining Wrighty. And then if Wrighty uses his clout and he knows other legends of the club and other players of the club that feel the same way and he brings them in, you've then got a whole different ball game. You've got a different animal.
Remember, let me say something. Remember Alan Shearer? He's a legend at Newcastle.
Yeah.
And there's a Mike Ashley. Fans really unhappy with that Mike Ashley. You know, he's running the club and that. Yeah. And Shearer come out and said he was unhappy. First thing Ashley did is, was it Shearer's Bar? He's changed the name of that. Said, yeah, and it's not called Shearer's Bar no more. And literally made Shearer unwelcome at the club. Shearer was helping that out. Mike Ashley, he's still there, isn't he?
We're a different club.
He's still there.
We're a different club.
He's still running the club.
Stop comparing us to other clubs. What I'm saying is...
I'm just giving you... Listen,
no, that's fine.
I'm giving you... Hold on, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Listen.
Answer me this.
I'm giving you... Wait a minute, because you've said a lot.
No, you're sounding like you don't want change. That's what it sounds
like. Ian Wright is a legend of Arsenal, but and Ian Wright, you're right, could galvanise a lot of people to get behind a protest. But at the end of the day, Stan Kroenke sitting at his ranch in America or in LA or wherever it is he really going to care that much?
He will care.
Some people protesting.
He will care. Because
do you think that would let him sell?
Like I told you, his son was pushing him last year. that was with the tiniest protests in comparison. That was with minute. You know, let's say, for argument's sake, I pray it doesn't, but let's say the results start going wrong. Let's say we start imploding like we do every other year.
Let's say
right?
we do better. Let's say we do well.
Who knows?
Like Man United.
I still want him out.
Where all the Man United fans wanted the Glazers, who are also American, to go. Get rid of the Glazers, planes, banners, this, that. They even went off and formed their own football club.
Yep. But
wait a minute.
But
hold on.
No.
Who's in charge at United?
I don't care who's in charge.
No, they're not a big club here.
I don't care who's in charge.
I don't compare it. They're not a big club.
Hold
on, answer the question.
No. I've answered
they're
it.
Still
every club is different, Robbie.
They're still
there. Every club is different.
And do you know what? Because they've been winning things, nobody even calls out the Glazers no more.
Oh, my life.
Now they actually like the Glazers.
Oh, my fucking life. Oh, my life. You're not fucking listening, and it's pissing me off now. Because Stan Kroenke...
Why not listening?
Stan Kroenke, it doesn't matter. He's done nothing for this club.
That's what they used to say about the Glazers. They used to say...
What are you going on about?
The guys at Man United, they've got scarves out.
They've still gone out there and they're still spending £89 million on Pogba. They're still going out there and spending nearly 100 million on
Whose money
Lukaku.
they're spending? Their money?
They're spending the money.
Is it their money?
Oh my God.
How much of the Glazers' own money have they spent?
Oh my, they've still spent some of their money.
How much of the Glazers...
Man United as a brand... Man United as a brand.
How much money?
They generate the money.
Like you said, it's different clubs.
Look at their branding. Look at their deal. Man United are a completely different monster. The Glazers,
how much of their money have they spent?
Done what they've had to do, and yes, they do spend some of their own.
What?
Yes, they do. I don't know the whole
The United fans right now, right? The Glazers have not spent any of their own money.
You know what's really annoyed me? The one thing I thought you would back on. But you're not.
I'm not saying I don't back it.
You're trying to play devil's advocate.
Listen.
Because that's bullshit. Bull fucking shit. And I guarantee in the comment section you get cuss over this.
Listen.
Good. Cuss him. Tell him.
You want to tell people to cuss me, they can cuss me.
Tell him. No, right? Because it pissed me off.
You want to tell people to cuss me. Let me tell you something.
This is our club,
when it comes to things, you have to be realistic as well.
I am realistic.
Right?
I want that fucking.
You have to be realistic. So first of all,
I'll carry on.
First of all, I am not a big fan of Stan Kroenke myself.
I'll run my protest myself.
I would like. Right?
Watch me.
I would like to see Stan Kroenke spend more money at Arsenal.
But he won't.
Wait a minute, because you've said a lot. Let me say my piece now, right? I would like to see Stan Kroenke spend way more money that he's spending at this club. I would like to see Stan Kroenke at this club. He doesn't even come, and that's what I don't like. I want to see Kroenke making appearances at this club, not just the FA Cup.
But
I want to see Kroenke when there's a crisis, and I've said this on numerous shows, coming and being up front, right? But also to suggest that bringing in Ian Wright is going to lead to the downfall of Stan Kroenke.
I say it helps.
I'm saying to you that when these guys are multi-billionaires and the amount of money they're making and the way they're used to getting their own way with it. Look, you've got guy Usmanov's offering the man £2 billion. And he's saying no.
Because he's got an easy ride.
Which is probably worth, the club's not even worth £2 billion and he's offering £2 billion.
Because he's got an easy ride at the moment, he's getting an easy ride. That's what I'm saying.
I think there's a lot more to it than that, DT. There's a lot more to it.
He's getting an easy ride.
And that's all I'm trying to highlight here. I'm trying to highlight some of the problems. I'm trying to highlight that Man United, right? They've had the similar problems with the Glazers. The Glazers are still there.
We need to.
The Venkis are still there at Blackburn.
Fuck the Venkis, man, and their
but you can just keep saying F this and stuff that and whatever. But at the end of the day, right, you have to look at these things. So if you are going to launch some sort of protest or come up with something where you'd be looking to get Kroenke out, you've got to be a bit more smarter with it than just saying, oh, we're going to walk down the road with banners.
Who said we're going to do that?
Because when the man's going to be sat at his yard in America,
no, because we're not saying,
don't give a
because
toss.
We wait till he's over here. Yeah, let's wait.
He gets a phone call. He gets a phone call. Yeah, Stan. DT's walking down with there's about 1,000 people. You say, who's that?
What are you talking about, 1,000? We're not even talking about that. That's what we're saying.
And Ian Wright's there as well.
This is why We need to make things bigger. You're basically cussing off Ian Wright.
I'm not. Listen,
you are.
I would never cuss Ian Wright.
Yeah, that's what you basically
say.
What
I'm trying to say to you.
I'm trying to say to you, yeah.
What I'm trying to say to you is that it takes more than that. You're
sitting there taking the piss. That's what you're doing.
Sitting there taking the piss.
Stan, yes.
No, you're sitting there and saying.
No, because you're taking the piss.
No, you're trying to.
What you should do is you should turn around and say, you know what? Actually, if you feel that strongly about it and that's what you want to do, then you know what?
No, you're calling out Ian Wright, trying to put pressure on Ian Wright. I'm saying to you, Ian Wright, respect due to him. He's one of the few footballers, right, because he wears his heart on his sleeve and because he loves the club so much, that he will come out and say how he feels.
Right.
He will come out and say when he's unhappy about Wenger. He will come out and say when he's unhappy about Kroenke. But don't put the pressure on him and say that.
What about put the pressure on him?
It will be if Ian Wright gets behind it.
I said it will probably be a lot better. I said that it will work more if it had someone like him behind it. If he doesn't want to get involved in it, then don't get so heavily involved in it on Twitter. Don't talk the talk if you can't walk it.
He loves the club.
I know he does, and I said from the very beginning, this is not me calling him out in a sense, in a nasty way. This is me calling him out, asking for his help. I as a fan, I'm in a privileged position in the sense that a lot of people watch our videos and stuff, right? And I've got a voice to a wider audience than some people, So I'm lucky in that sense. So I'm appealing to those people to come and let's all join together to try and get this man out of the club.
Did you ever see a day when he'd go?
Yeah.
Kroenke?
Yeah. I get my own way eventually. I'm telling you, I want that guy out so badly. And I don't think that this club's going to move forward any way, shape or form until he's gone. And that includes new managers. I don't think we're going to move forward. I don't think we're ever going to win the Premier League or the Champions League. Understand Kroenke.
What would you say would be the major difference if Usmanov did come in?
That he would demand success. Like an Abramovich. He would demand success. I feel that if he came in, he would give Arsenal a chance to say, right, okay. But there would be no, you're involved in this and that. It'll be simple. Give me your shopping list. Who do you want? I'm going to go get those players. There's no, he's worth...
A bit like his mate at Everton, he's doing great. Well,
listen, let me explain. Let me explain something, right? With Everton, right, they brought in a lot of players all in one go.
Give me a shopping list, Ronald.
It takes time, right? They've suffered a lot of injuries as well. It takes time. It's not easy. And Everton were never building with a platform, say here. They were building a mid-table platform and trying to progress.
That's not what they said at the start of the season.
No, but they
a lot of people saying that they think they can make top four.
But the people behind the scenes were realistic and they knew that it was going to take time. You look at Man City this season, they look a completely different team to last year because Pep Guardiola's had a year behind him. It always takes time to adapt and move. Yeah, so Robbie, would you swap, right? What is going on right now, for Pep Guardiola to be our manager and he can go out there and spend and get what he wants and challenge you for the Premiership and the Champions League.
Every football fan would want that because we all want our teams to be the best teams they possibly can be. We're all on the outside and, we just want our manager to go out there. I want him to go out and buy, I'm convinced that if Usmanov was in charge, we'd be looking at players like Neymar and that when they come up for
of course we would.
Right, which that would please me enormously. What we don't know is also it can go wrong. We've seen in many occasions that actually when a club is not run right, that you get owners or potential owners who make lots of promises and promise to spend loads and loads of money, and maybe it might be on a smaller scale clubs, not always a club as the size of Arsenal, but they come in, they make big promises, and it goes wrong. And sometimes the club can be in a worse position than they was to start off with the person that we all thought
it's the chance you
was
take.
Just,
It's the chance you take. I've put up with this shit for long enough.
I'm just putting it out there, you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep this balanced. right? I know it's not to everybody's liking.
I'm telling you,
because a lot of people don't like Kroenke, would like him out of the club. I don't think, as I said, I think there's lots of failings with Kroenke. You know, if we're gonna compete with Man United, Man City, and Chelsea, we have to spend more money. It's
and we're not going to understand Kroenke,
right?
so he has to go.
And I agree with you. And he needs to spend more money.
We've been around for like a bit.
But I'm just also highlighting the fact that you have to admit though that he does run a good business.
No, it's not a good business. It's all over the place because we've got players running down contracts and everything.
Well, on the contract thing, let's move to that now, right?
I've just rowed with you for half hours. A good
Mesut Ozil and
decent.
Alexis Sanchez.
What did I say to you Sunday?
Right?
I don't want to talk about it.
You didn't want to talk about it. You're on a podcast now. You've got to talk about it, right? Why are we pandering to these prima donnas?
Do you know what?
Why are we pandering to them? We've been hearing now Ozil linked with a move to Manchester United.
Yeah.
Right? Alexis, as we know, Man City's been, where he's wanted to go. Should we have just got rid of these guys? They didn't want to sign a contract. We've heard about the unrest in the dressing room because these, other players are looking on it and like, listen, these men don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
And now they're pushing their weight around and telling us what to do and this and that. Well, and Alexis, because, you are a great player, but who are you to tell us?
Yeah.
At least we're trying to fight for the club. Are you actually in it for the fight, Ozil? Are you in it?
Well, first
of all, turned these guys, these two players, into prima donnas? Should we have just got rid of them and went out there and tried to get excellent replacements?
Well, let's first and foremost, right, let's find out whether these rumours about Ozil and Man United are true before we start jumping on it and going, because it could just be all a load of bullshit and we're doing exactly what they want us to do, which is to just jump on it. Now, the reason why fans supported Ozil from the start of the season and said, they don't have a problem with him going into his final year was because of his own words, because of what he was saying. He made it believe and let us all believe that he was going to sign a new contract. Loved London, wants to stay at Arsenal. What did I say to you in the last podcast? PR team. He's got a better PR team than Alexis Sanchez. Yet both of them have probably got the exact same thoughts. Both of them probably, we know Alexis, Ozil's probably exactly the same. The difference is, in the public eye, Ozil's PR team said one thing, Alexis' team said nothing. So one got the absolute, battering, and the other praised to high heaven because it looked like he wanted to stay. But yet in reality, when you look at it, they're just the same as each other. Now, I've stuck up for Ozil. And while he plays for Arsenal, I'll stick up for him because I rate him and I really think that he's a superb player. Alexis, love the guy. Don't want him to leave. Kill me when he goes. It'd be right up there for me when Henry left because I rate him so much. I've waited for so long to see a player that can excite me like that on the pitch. I've gone through watching Bentner and Shamak and fucking Javinho and shit like that to all of a sudden seeing that. And it's like, my God. I've waited since Henry to see someone that can get me off my seat and excite me and, make me feel like the next game, I don't care who we're playing, this man will win us the game. We ain't had no one like that since Henry, so yes, it will hurt.
A bit like a girlfriend, isn't it? When you say, he's coming to an end. That.
I use this phrase for you.
And as you said, they want to leave, but you keep looking at her, she's fit though.
It's like you see related. It's like you see.
She's so nice. But really and truly, she should go.
It's like you see.
Have we done that with these two players? Should we have said to them, should we have said to him, man, you want to go? Go, man. And took the money and went and reinvested in some guys that really want to play for the club.
You know what it was? I think. I personally believe that if Arsenal could have got rid of them outside of the Premier League, they would have. I think that they were too scared to get rid of them to the Premier League and suffer a backlash. That's what I personally believe. I think.
Should we sell them in January? If in January,
well, the rumours.
If in January, right, 50 million for each of them comes in, should we sell them?
The rumour I'm hearing is Alexis PSG and Draxler the other way. I'd snap the hand off. I'd take that right now. Because Draxler will come to the club and want to play for this club. So from January onwards, we got a player that's not causing unrest in the dressing room, that's, not, problems here or there. There'll be none of this. Is he staying? Is he going? Is he signing? Is he not? It would be...
I'm not sure about that rumour anyway, man, because the amount of wages... So, the amount of wages, they've already got financial fair play problems.
We haven't.
PSG. No, PSG.
Oh, PSG right? will get round that, man. Right? Jesus Christ.
I don't know how. With the Mbappe thing, they're already in loads of trouble over that.
They will get around that. Because what they'll probably... How much is Draxler on a week?
He won't be even on half.
250, 300?
No, he won't be on that. He's probably on about 150, and Alexis will want about 300. And he won't go... Why go to PSG for anything less when he knows he can go to City and get what he wants?
I just think
hold out. If it's January,
Arsenal might push it.
5 months, and just wait for 5 months and go to where he wants to go.
Who knows? Maybe they'll push it. We don't know what's going on.
Is it our fault as fans? Are we there loving up on these guys too much? Ozil, Alexis, and really and truly, they don't love us because they want to go.
No, do you know what, Robbie?
Should we just have said to him, you know what, go, man.
No, because you know what?
Give us some proper money for these guys.
What did I just say to you?
We could have built a team. You know what? This is not one man don't play this game, because Alexis was there last year, we didn't win the league. Yeah? Ozil was there, we didn't win.
If it weren't for Alexis, we would have finished 10th.
Right? Well, we say that, but maybe if we'd have got rid of Alexis this season and maybe we bring in a guy that suits the team better, right? And bring in someone to replace Ozil, who plays heart out for the team. Maybe, you're laughing, maybe we could have done better. I'm just bringing it up because there was guys at the game, Kenny Ken, for instance, on the game on Sunday, he was bringing it up and he said he don't believe, which I didn't agree with him in that match. I thought Alexis did play for the team that day. He was a man in the match.
I just think that he's now the
But he was saying that, listen, but I think that the problem is because of all what's gone on, anytime a fan looks on it and it looks on it like they have not given the minimum 100%, they're going to get accused of just being prima donnas.
What did I just say to you? That fans probably have given them a bit more because they've waited for so long. Remember how everyone celebrated when Ozil signed?
I was there. I was down at the ground and I was celebrating with them. But at the end of the day...
No, but that's what I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, nothing goes on forever.
I know it doesn't, but when you've waited so long...
Like so many people celebrate at weddings, isn't it? But then they're not celebrating at the divorce. Yeah. So I'm saying,
that's a new thing,
What, celebrating at the divorce?
Yeah, they do divorce. They do divorce parties now.
Is it?
Yeah. Listen, if you need a DJ...
But what I'm saying is, right, listen, we as fans, we love these guys so much that maybe they're playing on that. They know that.
Yeah, maybe.
But for the players playing in that dressing room now, they're looking on it and saying, you know what, you man are frauds, You're there giving it to the fans, but when you got to give your 100% work in training and in things and stuff like that, you ain't doing it.
You want my honest opinion right now?
And then when we're playing in a game now and something goes wrong, you might give the ball away 10 times. One man gives the ball away once and you're there throwing up your hands, throwing your gloves off. Piss off, you idiot. That's how players, that's just how natural human beings.
You want my honest opinion, how I feel right now. You know my thoughts on the players and stuff, but if we get the right money and it's for the benefit of the team, I'd get rid of both of them in January. If it's right for the team.
Even what if it's to a rival?
If what's been said is true.
Ozil goes to United in January.
That'll kill me. I'll hate that. I'll destroy that. But
would you take the 50? You're in charge. You're the manager. Jose comes along and says, "I'll give you 50 million for Mesut Ozil in January." Would you take it?
You've got a choice. You either take 50 million in January or you take nothing in July, June, whatever it is.
So you sell him to United?
If that's the only team that are going for him, then what can you do? You either lose, the money don't bother me.
Chelsea come along, or Man City, them two in the running, bidding war. We give you 55 million for Alexis. Will you take it?
Do you know what? I would... me as an owner, I tell you what I would do. I would contact every fucking club in Europe and I'd say, listen, take him for 20. Yeah, just so we don't go to the Premier League.
But the problem is, right, they already tried that. The players don't. Alexis Sanchez.
Listen, if the players are adamant that they are only going to go to the Premier League, what can you do?
I know 100% that Alexis Sanchez said he wants to go to Man City. That was in the summer.
Yeah.
He said, I want to go to further my footballing career. I want to go to Man City.
Yeah, and that was his words. But what I'm saying is,
if Man City offered £50 million in January for Alexis Sanchez and you were the manager, would you take it?
Take it as long as you spend it on the replacement.
Okay.
You have to. If they don't, then there'll be a war. Because you can't take that money and then not rebuild. But then it's difficult. You've got to, do we look at it and say, how are we going to... Finding a replacement for Alexis anyway is going to be difficult. But where do you find that replacement in January? I think if we do sell them both in January, then we can pretty much write the rest of the season off, and it's a case of getting through. And then maybe, get lucky with...
this whole transfer thing's been a disaster.
But then this is the thing that people are not realising. We get to the end of the season and we go, right, let's rebuild and do everything else, and we're going to buy new players. Arsene Wenger then goes into the last year of his contract. How many players are going to want to sign for someone that might be gone in a year? Are we then going to go through that whole cycle? Are we then going to go through a transfer window where players are going, well, I don't know, man, Arsene might be gone in a year. Yeah, I'm coming to Arsenal for him, but he'll be gone in a year. Who's going to be the new manager? Is someone taking...
I've got the solution.
Put me as manager.
No, he signs an extension.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Listen, thanks for watching All Guns Blazing today. He's been in a bad mood, man. I was just trying to play devil's advocate.
You know what I mean? Every single week.
But listen, you've got to put a bit of balance to this thing, man. You can't just...
man. If you want some balance, buy some Special K. You know what I mean?
I can't put a bit of balance to the thing.
Listen,
the man's attacking me like he wants to kill me or something.
It was a healthy debate. That's what it was. It was healthy. And people need to understand one thing, yeah? Me and Robbie don't hate each other, okay? Just because we shout and I might tell him to shut up on camera a few times and he might overtalk me and everything, but believe me, we're mates and it's cool.
When do I overtalk you?
Oh, you overtalk me all the time, man, all the time. The amount of time
you got your little minions in the comments.
Yeah, my minions, no.
Your little minions in the comments. Yeah, stop talking over detail. I'll talk as I want, bro.
My fans, yeah? You get me? You know what I mean? So, yeah, listen,
we'll be back next week.
It's good.
With another All Guns Blazing. Don't forget as well, you can get it on iTunes and whatever.
Yeah, man.
Look in the link below, man. Link below, and you can find out everywhere where you can get it. And
exactly.
Thanks for watching the show today. Thank you.
One sniff.